absurd. And so that's his first problem. I want to start off this video by pointing out that this would have prevented his divorce.
This is a really good shake combo I like to use, and I think it works decently well.
If it worked so well, where's the pro card? If it worked so well, why did he have to suck out his fat? I mean, isn't it annoying when you lose your Wi-Fi? I hate losing my Wi-Fi, especially when I'm on a plane.
This is a brain rot special.
Tiamat's cooking in the basement.
Coach Greg, in today's video, we're going to find out exactly how pathetic, lonely, and miserable Mike's life and his diet it really is. He just posted a video and it's called My Full Day of Eating at 6% Body Fat. Warning. I've already watched the video and it's way worse than I thought. I mean, he ends the video by saying if you want to watch him shower and go to bed with other men, you can click here. And that's just a start. In the rest of the video, he reveals that he's alone in an apartment building. He's not with his wife. Half the comments are on the divorce. And so Mike is revealing how pathetic his life it really is. I'm sorry, I'm just reporting the news. And so we're gonna go over his diet. It's 3,700 calories. He's on a slight lean bulk, we're gonna call it. He isn't actually 6%. He dreams he was 6%. I mean, all you have to do is look at the video. He's clearly not at 6%. Damn, bro's been cutting so hard he lost his wife. Too soon, too soon. Are we actually going to learn anything from watching this video? Nope, nothing. Only that just be glad you're not Mr. Mike. Can't learn anything from his diet. Don't follow his diet. Don't listen to what he's saying. And let me just read this comment. Y'all know that he had liposuction surgery to reduce his body fat, right? And his education and training knowledge was not enough to get a sculpted six-pack, right? And so why would we follow his diet? Like cheesy puffs and 4 protein bars is a meal? And I haven't even gotten into the video. That's the most depressing 3,700 calories I've ever seen. LOL, my God. And so just to summarize, 2 microwave meals, a couple of protein shakes, 4 protein bars, bread, and a bowl of cheese puffs. Accurate. Apartment. Sorry, bro. Hope you're doing all right. Keep up the great
This is a brain rot special.
I mean, bro is a multi-millionaire with butlers and a gym right outside of his house, and now he's living in an apartment building and he goes down the elevator to now go to the gym. That's how pathetic it's become. What happened to all his money? The best way to get through a breakup is lifting and good eating. Hope you're doing well, Mike. When you showed the pure protein bar, I thought, hey, I like those. Then when you said you're gonna eat 4 of them, I felt nauseated. Decaf coffee with some hot water is some psycho-ass shit. Coach Greg Brain Rot Special. You guys already know. Wow. I knew it wasn't going to be a gourmet show, but I wasn't expecting to end up depressed looking at this diet. Extra points for that coffee. Coach Greg's going to have a field day with the Dr. Mike divorce files. And so many people have been sending me DMs talking about Mike Israetel's divorce, and people writing in the comment, well, how do you know they're broke up? How do you actually know? And so this gentleman, he summarized it. He says, the biggest pieces of the puzzle were Christy posting her new place in Philly on Insta, and both of them being in different places on Christmas last year. There are several smaller pieces, but I mean, why would Mike move out of his house? Why would he not be living with his wife? Why is he living in an apartment building? And why is he eating and doing everything on his own? And why would he want us to see his naked body and him sleeping with other men? And so you can all put 2 and 2 together and wonder, is Mike actually gay? I mean, he came out and said he was gay. I showed you that in a video. Coach Greg, and welcome to my new studio. And what a video I have for you. Mike Israetel finally comes out as being gay.
Is it perfect?
Yep.
Okay, then.
No, it was really good.
And so you can argue that he's bi. My personal opinion is that if you're a man and that you're bi, you're actually gay. If you can have sex with a man, you're gay. And now a woman can have sex with another woman, and to me, she's not gay, she's bi, because being a woman on woman is feminine. A woman with a man, she's still feminine. But if a man is getting pegged by another man, it's gay. You can be gay and have sex with girls, but you can't be straight and have sex with men. It doesn't work like that. It's not possible. It doesn't count, but hey, We can go toe-to-toe, back and forth, but I don't care. If you're bi and you're a man, you're actually gay. And let's start the video.
Full day of eating. I am coming out of my bedroom.
He's coming out of his closet is where he's coming out of. Coming out of his bedroom. Coming out of the closet!
3 is how to live in an apartment in which everything is white. Am I in an insane asylum?
And so Mike's in a white apartment building. Perhaps it should be an insane asylum, and by the end of watching Coach Greg's videos, he probably is going to be in one. I mean, the amount of content that Mike's giving me, it's going to feed generations.
And CBD gummies to manage the side effects on the brain from taking special sports supplements.
And so he wakes up and takes performance-enhancing drugs, and because of that, he has to take CBD gummies to offset those side effects. I never saw anywhere in his arsenal that he was taking Turk Builder Max or even GO2 Max. Never saw it. He doesn't wake up and get blue lobstered. And so that's his first problem. I want to start off this video by pointing out that this would have prevented his divorce. If Mike were taking Turk Builder Max, he wouldn't get divorced. This is the cheat code. Yeah, it's going to help you build more muscle, not as much as steroids, but it prevents women from breaking up with you. They will see that you're a smart man. They're thinking, he's on Turk, he watches Coach Greg, he's a reasonable person. I can work with that. But think of the opposite. Being anti-Coach Greg, thinking that I'm an idiot, thinking that I'm the worst person that he's ever met. Add that to getting a waist reduction surgery, sucking out his fat cells, undergoing those horrific surgeries, and imagining that somebody is going to want to put up with that. Imagine, as a woman, you have option A and option B. One is you go for the guy that watches Coach Greg, and option B is you go for the guy that hates Coach Greg. Which is the red flag? I rest my case. Code Greg, 15% off. And remember, money back guarantee and a $50 gift card. If it doesn't, keep your divorces at bay.
Blood pressure medications, metformin, things like that.
And so, you know, I'm just on my blood pressure medications, the metformin, because he's probably on early onset of type 2 diabetes. He probably has high blood pressure from all the steroids. And he's going a little, well, insane from taking the steroids. Remember the last time he was on a cycle and all he felt was rage and he wanted to rip dogs apart? This is coming from the man who's both bigger and stronger than Mike Mentzer.
I'm bigger and stronger than Mike Mentzer. That's it.
And who, if you give him a year, he'll be better than the thing that you do best. Not to mention, he's smarter than almost, if perhaps, every single coach in the world.
I'm both on a raw IQ scale smarter than almost every coach, maybe every coach.
That's Mr. Mike in a nutshell. And so Mike's first problem is he looks more like Casper the Friendly Ghost than a bodybuilder. Bro, we all know it's about having a proper tan, and so the supplements that you should be adding, perhaps Melanotan 2, or perhaps like Mepsigram, you can actually rub on a fake tanner. It actually works. And so Mike, if you really want to make some gains, you gotta get the darker skin.
I'm bigger and stronger than Mike Mentzer. That's it. Yeah. So all of a sudden, that changes the game. I'm more educated than Mike Mentzer. I know more things than Mike Mentzer.
And so there's the first mistake. He doesn't eat breakfast. He goes to the gym fasted. He drives over to the gym. Let me remind you, he used to walk outside to his personal gym that he had spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on. There was a sauna. He would go in and speak Russian in, and, hey, I want to suck your cock. That was the Mike gym.
How many of you have had a recurring fantasy where a tank top wearing hairy Russian man is sitting across from you in the sauna?
None. No one. None of us. Zero. Zero! Zilch nada! None of us. Zero! 0 times! None have thought of this! My goodness.
Your shape of cock look nice, yeah?
He would use that to get some vascularity, to get better poses so that his veins were coming to fruition. That is no longer. What happened to Mike's house, to his gym? Release the divorce files.
That workout shake I will consume during the gym little bit after, and then my first actual human food meal is going to be after the gym.
And so training fasted for a bodybuilder, it makes no sense. So what you want to do is you eat. You eat protein because your body has up to 5 opportunities for muscle protein synthesis to occur. If you go without eating, how are you building muscle? Where are the building blocks? You know, the amino acids. You need 3 things to build muscle. You need amino acids, you need water, and you need energy. If you consume none of those things, how are you building muscle? Where exactly are you going to be getting the building blocks to build up your biceps if you don't eat or consume anything? You are not. And so think of it as a construction site. You're building a house. When you're on steroids, you have like 50 workers working for you and they're ready. Without steroids, you only have 5. The house takes a lot longer to build. If you don't give it any food in the morning, there's no protein, there's no water, there's no energy, you have 50 guys sitting there doing nothing, waiting. Does that make sense? And so Mike wakes up in the morning and is hoping, praying to build muscle. And because he's on steroids, he could build a lot of muscle, but his workers are sitting there with their arms crossed thinking, when are you gonna start eating? They're twiddling their thumbs and being paid like most government workers, doing mostly nothing, sitting on the side of the highway. You know what I'm saying.
I'd recommend, in most cases, using a fruit-based protein or a vanilla protein if you're gonna make a shake out of it.
And so meal 1 is gonna be consumed at the gym eventually once he gets there. And it's Gatorade, protein powder, and some bullshit electrolyte drink. How many of you think that this is the ideal first meal in the morning? And he consumes a little bit of it while working out and consumes the rest later. Do you think that that is ideal? Mr. Mike is willing to go through torture, surgeries, to suck out his fat cells, to cut his skin off, but he can't just eat meal 1. I mean, at this point, why doesn't Mike just swallow his pride, hire Coach Greg, and go after his...
I'm both on a raw IQ scale smarter than almost every coach, maybe every coach.
Think of it, a chocolate protein drink mixed with Gatorade, that is meal 1. A multi-millionaire, one who formerly had Lamborghinis for his butlers, that is what he eats.
What that does for me is it gives me a drink that mutes muscle wasting.
What it does for him in reality is it prevents him from experiencing human pleasure. Like, why would he consume this? The cookbook. Mike, have you even opened it up? Have you even for 1 second considered that perhaps some anabolic French toast, some protein pancakes, the list of meals in this book, that even you could make them? Mike, I am not a gourmet chef. Clearly, you are even worse. And I'm telling you, even Mr. Mike, you know, the guy with over 400 mistakes on a PhD thesis, even that guy could do this. That is how easy this book is. Even a guy who could write as horrible of a PhD as Mr. Mike, even that person would understand this book. I made it that simple, Mike. I was thinking of guys like you and mine, university students who don't have the time, they don't have the wherewithal to figure out how to cook delicious recipes. I had guys like Mr. Mike in mind. And so if you want the best cookbook in the world, code Greg 15% off. Click the link in the description.
This shake gives me energy because of the carbohydrates. It primes anabolism with the decent amount of protein that I have.
Imagine if you needed energy. Picture this, we're waking up on Saturday morning and we're about to do a Zwift bike race, myself with my HTLT cycling team. And our plan, we're fasted and then we get on the bike and we have 30 grams of Gatorade with some protein powder and some electrolytes. And we do the race, you know, a race which requires energy. You know, you're training hard, you're pushing the pedals, you're putting out some power with your quads, similar to going and doing some squats. How do you think we're gonna do? 30 grams of carbs. It's 120 calories from carbs. The guys on my team are consuming anywhere between 60 and 120 grams of carbs per hour. Per hour! Mike's having 30 his entire morning and things, you know, for energy. 30 grams of carbs when you wake up flat from dieting is not going to be enough to give you energy for a sustained level of effort. You can't push hard in the gym eating like Mr. Mike. But remember, did anyone claim that Mr. Mike actually trained hard? And so Mike should preface, I'm gonna go and do a half-ass pussy bitch workout that only people following Renaissance app are going to follow. You know, guys who train like Jeff Nipper, the dropout dentista who won't take your picture. This is the type of guys that are buying the RP app. Guys who think that people who get 400 plus mistakes on a freaking PhD draft and then lie about it being the first draft, and they still don't care. And so if you're that guy, yeah, keep buying his app and keep going to the gym, training half-ass with 3 reps in fucking reserve.
This is a really good shake combo I like to use, and I think it works decently well.
If it worked so well, where's the pro card? If it worked so well, why did he have to suck out his fat? If it works so well, where's your Wi-Fi? I mean, isn't it annoying when you lose your Wi-Fi? I hate losing my Wi-Fi, especially when I'm on a plane. I really value my Wi-Fi, and without my Wi-Fi, where would I be? I would be lost, sitting there bored, wondering, what could I do if only my Wi-Fi hadn't left me? Sorry.
Ingredients. I've been on this for a while, and I really, really like it. Of course, with the RP Diet Coach app, it's just a swipe away from checking it in.
Of course, with the RP Diet Coach app, it's just a swipe away from checking it in.
You know what's a swipe away is Mike finding the man of his dreams on Grindr. That's what's a swipe away.